2021 December Costa Rica mission by Chuck King of Frontier Harvest Ministries of Ford City, PA. I had really good seats, business class, all the way to San Jose, Costa Rica. And you can see how I followed my trip on the flight map on the plane. And Greg and Eric and Philip and Aaron were already there when I arrived, and so we met at the hotel. We had breakfast that morning, the very first day of ministry. Then we moved into the conference room for a time of worship and then teaching. We had 6 sessions a day, and there was time for prayer and time for worship as well, and the people responded very well, whether it was the teaching of Eric on the Heart of Man chart for street evangelism. He covered that over 2 different sessions, and the people were very responsive to learn from him as he taught, or whether it was Greg and I teaching our sessions. The people were very open and responsive. Now, Philip and Aaron went to the church building and did a small group training for the chicken project, showing them how to make a fly catching device as well as use the incubator. And then we were back in the other sessions at the conference center at the hotel where we stayed. And again, we shared morning and afternoon for the first 2 days, and in the evenings, Eric preached one service, Greg preached the other, and then on Sunday morning, we have plans to go to the church to complete our 3 days of teaching here in Costa Rica. These are the Heart of Man charts that are used. It's a flip chart used to describe on the street in simple pictures the state of man's heart before and after he's saved, and even if he would backslide and turn back to sin, what happens to a person. And this chart is effectively used in street witnessing to reach people with the gospel so they would have an opportunity to repent and to become a believer, and then they would be fit into a local house church meeting to be trained by a leader who is doing that ministry until the disciples are trained up to serve together in that local church. And it was an effective presentation. And there is going to be someone here in Costa Rica using that equipment. There was a time of prayer and seeking the Lord just before lunch on the second day, and you can see the people sincerely seeking the Lord here. We spent the final day of our ministry Sunday morning at Jose Pablo and Francis local church meeting, and we took the time for all 3 of us to teach one final session. They had great worship there. Even have this worship team that dances with the worship music, and they're very sincere. They get before the Lord and spend a lot of time in prayer, and really are seeking God's will for their lives. And after I preached, I had a number of people come to repent of robbing God. They got restored. And then Phil gave a testimony about how his life was changed through tithing. And Eric had a powerful message on holiness, calling everyone to holiness, to be set apart for God. And you can see how many came in response to seeking the Lord to be holy for Him. And this is how the meeting went. They interspersed with prayer, worship, and finally Greg got to teach, and he had a powerful word calling us to go out of the building and take the gospel beyond our local church. And Jose Pablo confirmed everything that we spoke, and Francis prayed for us. And this group is actually going to do missionary work about 7 hours away among some indigenous people. We had a great trip. We plan to go back next year. On Sunday afternoon after the services, we took a little time to go up into the hills to see some beautiful countryside. We had some pizza at a nice restaurant and just had a good time of fellowship. It's a beautiful country, Costa Rica. We can't wait to come back and visit our family once again.